Hi everybody, Don Giannatti, lighting-essentials.com and project52prosystem.com. Project 52 is enrolling right now. It's August of 2018. It's August 1st. And if you're listening to this during August 18 and you're interested in lighting essentials, Project 52, pop on over to project52prosystem.com. There's a link below and check us out. If you're listening to this in September or October of 2018, it's over. You'll have to wait till I think March or something of 2019. And if you're listening to this in 2020, I'm sorry, where were you? Anyway, I had this folder of chocolate images. I just did a review of chocolate images a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, before I put this folder away, I wanted to share these images with you because they're kind of unique, they're kind of fun. If you have never shot chocolate, you really should give it a shot because it's difficult. If you like challenges, it's a great challenge. You can't screw up with chocolate. You have to be so deliberate, and that's a word you hear me use a lot on my channel, deliberate. There are problems holding the chocolate, touching the chocolate. Even, if you put tweezers on the chocolate, it leaves marks. You have to figure out how to get that stuff moved around without leaving fingerprints on it. Chocolate has chocolate dust everywhere. It's a nightmare to shoot correctly. I am shocked, however, that not shocked, I shouldn't say shocked, but a recent trip through Google chocolate images from advertising revealed that the students of Project 52 did a better job than a lot of pros out there. Really terrible to look at pro work and see, oily fingerprints or smudges on the chocolate. And, not good. Anyway, let's take a look at Mark Maynard's shot because Mark brought home the bacon here. Actually, chocolate, some sort of chocolate bacon. I'm not a fan of chocolate bacon. I do like chocolate and I do like bacon. But one of the things I wanted to show about this image, besides the chocolate bacon, is how beautiful Mark has got these highlights going in the chocolate. Do you see this? It's a big white board that he's using to this side of the image to create this beautiful reflection. Chocolate is shiny. It reflects what it sees. He's also got a kicker light coming over the top of this thing, which is giving these great speculars right along here of this cookie and that cookie up there, right on the top of this ridge. So we really have a strong feeling of backlight as well as some good solid light on the product itself, on the food itself. So there's a couple of lights that Mark's using here, and he's doing a great job with it. Let's go to something that Sergio came up with. Sergio is a photographer down in South America. And look at this gorgeous, gorgeous shot. Rich color, rich design. Having that fork, that little sparkle on the fork, it's just so cool. You can see the speculars in here where the light is catching these different shiny and sometimes wet objects. And of course the nuts coming up here and spilling through. And notice Sergio's use of some very selective light coming through here and coming down here, coming over here. Really, really well done. That's Sergio Fiallo in South America, down southern Brazil, or I think it might be Uruguay, right below Brazil, somewhere down there. We'll find out where Sergio's from and let you know. Bob Nil, I know, is from Frederick, Maryland, and I believe has just moved up north to the Adirondack area, where he's a photographer for a lot of the vineyards and food places up there. This is his shot of a spectacular chocolate cake. Notice the highlight right on the top, which gives us great separation. Because you've got a chocolate cake, you've got a chocolate background. We've got to separate it somehow. Otherwise, the chocolate just blends in. Now over here, we've got dark chocolate in the shadow. and Bob kept the background bright enough to give us that edge. And then he created a light over here on this side that was at the angle of incidence to give speculars all along the chocolate slab in this cake here. A specific set of speculars just for this cake, and the white cake below it here. I thought the addition of the little dirty fork here was perfect. Just a nice little thing to hang off the picture over here to pull the eye through the picture. Nicely done, Bob. Shot from a very low angle too to give a lot of height to that chocolate cake. Darla Heske shot a bunch of these little handmade bonbons or something, and gave us this great backlight, the blue reflecting on the surface here. We've got these textures all around this one, and while these remain simple, this has got the little cap on it. And notice how Darla's got the light hitting and wrapping and adding texture to this construction on top of the chocolate. Really well done, and nice lighting, really nice lighting. Kelly Hicks went for a very geometrically created. Notice this line and this line are the same with this chocolate here. He's got this chocolate just a little off, then these chocolates are off, and then we've got this serpentine thing coming through. Do you see that? There's a line that comes through the strawberries down to this, and then of course these lead out. Very serpentine against all these geometric patterns, which I thought was a nice way to do it. It keeps the eye vibrating, and if we can keep the eye vibrating across the picture, it's going to be a more interesting photograph to our brain and to ourselves, because our eyes dance and see all these little things. That was unfortunate. All the little red strawberries popping through on this side, offset by the board and that single piece of chocolate on down here. So it's got a really nice sense of balance to it. Justin Caridi blended raspberries with cooking chocolate and this lovely chocolate cake with the raspberries on the top. He wanted to keep the light open, airy, fresh. We've got a fill card on the right side. You can tell because, well, we can see it, see it right in there. We see it right on the berry right there. We see it on this side of the cake. It's there, but we also have a scrim above it with the hot part of the strobe that's coming through the scrim, that hot specular, creating a nice background here, gradient background for our subject, and putting the cinnamon sticks right there in that hot spot makes them pop more. So it's really, it's a very well controlled image. Like it a lot. Reed Waters shot ice cream, as you can see, and the little tea set around it worked out very well. He's got a little bit of a shallow depth of field going here, which is kind of cool. But the chocolate looks nice and very cold. See the lines in there? Even though the chocolate is kind of running through here, the ice cream is still quite cold. And that's another thing you have to deal with when you're dealing with cold chocolate. Can be a problem. Kathy Nance poured chocolate down onto this thing. We'll just call it a thing. I don't know what this thing is, but it's now a chocolate covered thing. Beautiful highlights on the chocolate all the way down. She went for very shallow depth of field just to give us that sharpness right where the chocolate hits the aforementioned thing, and really creates a nice feeling of the pouring chocolate. We can really feel this. Looks very real to us. And lastly, Julie Leroux did candy in a box. I can't tell you how long Julie worked on this in Photoshop. she has other methods now that'll take us through this much faster than the way she did it. But these things, when you open up the box, they look really great until you look at them really close, and there's all little nicks and little dust over here and little white marks here and little, squiggles there, and it's chocolate dust, and it just gets onto everything. She put a great big soft scrim above, lit it up, got a nice gradient scrim. We got a little bit hotter there than it is here, hotter there than here, hotter there than here. You can see a little hotter there than here, and that gives dimension not only to the light but to the product itself. And then she went in and retouched it beautifully. So Julie Leroux in Boston. So chocolate, like I say, is a challenge, and I'd love to see what you guys come up with. If you'd like to try a chocolate assignment or a chocolate challenge, go ahead for it. I think it'd be cool. So we have Julie Leroux, Kathy Nance, who did this beautiful pouring thing. Really, really cool. Reed Waters back in West Virginia. Great job. Justin Caridi, lovely shot, adding the red with the chocolate. Kelly Hicks did the same thing. We got that great leading line, little serpentine line that I thought was really, really nice. And notice we have the same serpentine line here, right? Boom, 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 or boom, boom, boom. We got, lines there that work. Bob Nill and Frederick, or Northern New York. Beautiful chocolate cake. Sergio down in Uruguay with this very sexy different grids on this. Really, really cool. And Mark Maynard with the bacon and the great use of a little kicker light to add sparkle to it. So there's some chocolate for you. Give you some ideas on how to shoot it, and maybe challenge you to try it yourself. I think you'll find it challenging, and you'll find it fun to work with. So have a great one. Check me out on the links below. Check out Project 52. See my site, dongiannetti.com. Do the harangue. I don't know. We're gonna do a lot more videos the month of August. Got a lot to do. And hey, subscribe. What the heck? Hit the little subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, and you'll be notified every time I put up one of these wonderful videos, as long as I can keep my mouth working right. I love to keep showing you guys what we do. Anyway, have a great day. We'll see you next time.